When a woman expresses intense, unrestrained emotion, modern society tends to respond to her in a very predictable way. Toward the end of her life, she published a collection of poems titled Locas Mujeres, or Crazy Women. Mistral's poems focus on the environmental and social pressures that lead to emotional outbursts, looking past clinical definitions of psychosis. By using such a blunt title, she sets a trap for the reader, inviting them to gawk at madness, before forcing them to witness the agonizing external causes of that suffering. The women in these verses are surviving brutal realities. They are navigating the wreckage of lost love, deep-seated grief, and lives that have been physically and emotionally shattered. Mistral portrays the natural world as a participant in this trauma. In her poems, nature is a harsh, punishing environment that reflects and amplifies the subject's isolation. This data visualization of stress and strain helps illustrate Mistral's thesis. We start with a baseline of normal pressure. But when an individual is pushed into an extreme trauma zone, the resulting behavioral data line naturally becomes erratic. If we hide the axis representing the trauma, the reaction looks entirely inexplicable. To a spectator blind to the underlying pressure, the subject simply appears wild. Mistral argues that these intense reactions are actually survival mechanisms, deeply human responses to levels of pain that the observer has failed to acknowledge. The collection stems from the final, more troubled years of Mistral's life, and her stylistic choices reflect that weight. She presents these dark, troubled themes through the rhythms of simple song styles and traditional folk wisdom, creating a sharp contrast between the form and the content. Storing devastating emotional trauma inside the innocent structure of a folk song creates an unsettling dissonance for the reader. This friction bypasses intellectual analysis, forcing a visceral connection to the reality of the pain described in the text. Mistral's sequence of poems dismantles the distance between the reader and the subject, replacing initial judgment with a perspective informed by the character's history. She takes the derogatory label of Madwoman and reclaims it as a powerful marker of emotional survival. Locas Mujeres serves as a defense of feeling deeply. It suggests that in a harsh world demanding numbness, refusing to hide one's agony is an act of profound honesty. A wild reaction to a painful world stands as the ultimate proof of our fundamental humanity.